satellite saying, Victor?
Right now, not a goddamn thing. I've lost the signal.
Hey, you know what never loses signal? Paper. All right, this route right here should take us straight to the volcano. Might get a little bumpy, though.
Let's get the show on the road.
What's up, guys? This is Sancho West, and welcome to my Uncharted 4 Madagascar demo breakdown. In this breakdown, you're going to get a lot of analysis regarding Naughty Dog's evolution in gaming and how that evolution is bringing you a top-notch gaming experience. So we're going to go ahead and look at this demo. I'm going to bring a lot of sources from their past Naughty Dog games and, of course, some other YouTube sources and their live stream themselves to give you guys a lot of information so you can understand what you're getting into when Uncharted 4 ships on May 10th. So here we go. In this Madagascar demo, you got Nate, Sully, and Sam driving around Madagascar heading towards this volcano, as you heard in the cutscene. So let's just first pick up this dialogue between Sam and Sully.
Oh, Victor, you still do a lot of traveling these days?
Yeah, I try. I tend to pick jobs that get me away from the computer.
I was telling Nate that it's shocking how
This organic in-game dialogue is very reminiscent of The Last of Us in-game dialogue. In fact, my favorite scene in The Last of Us was when Ellie was telling Joel all those ridiculous puns. And this is definitely an evolution of their dialogue tree that you can see. So let's go ahead and take a dip back into the past, into The Last of Us.
A book just fell on my head. I only have myself to blame. Or wait, I said it wrong. Hold on, let me read it again. A book just fell on my head. I only have my shelf to blame. I ruined it.
This in-game organic dialogue is going to be the true treasure of Uncharted 4. Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley are going to want you to understand the relationships between all the characters, between Sam and Sully, between Nate and Sam, especially Nate and Sam, for you to understand what is going on beyond the cutscene. One of the terms that Naughty Dog has used a lot while describing this gameplay is wide linear, and nothing describes wide linear than this demo itself, especially in the Jeep. Let's go ahead and take a look at The Last of Us. Now, I know in this cutscene it's a little bit different, but as you can see, as Joel pulls up to the fork in the road, the left side's all blocked off. Of course, the right side is clear. This is going to be the way that Naughty Dog uses a lot of tips and a lot of hidden things to subconsciously guide you down the right path. Just imagine if you would have been cool to be able to drive the truck in The Last of Us. Back to the footage here. As you can see, you have this wide open space, and was your eye drawn towards those birds? More on that later.
Can't let you be the know-it-all every time, kid.
Would you look at that?
a secret cave behind the
Another example of the great in-game dialogue.
on a pirate adventure.
Sully and Sam are going to continue their conversation from the other point that Nathan left the Jeep.
You know Kings Bay so well, huh?
A little bit of a mini puzzle right here.
Again, of course. And in the process of negotiating the bribe, we hit it off. And I made it a point to come visit every few years.
Hell, maybe we can preempt any trouble we might get into. Can you still reach out to him?
In this upcoming example, this shows how Naughty Dog is taking some of the elements from The Last of Us, finding the in-game recordings, and now using that in Uncharted 4.
We lost 2 more guards to infected attacks. They're about to go have another goddamn meeting about the safety of this lab. All of our equipment is here. All of our data is here. All the personnel have gotten used to living here. I'm gonna run another test. Otherwise, this incompetence will drive me insane.
Brazil. Been a few years since we've seen each other.
Maybe time for a visit.
Maybe. First, let's wrap this up.
And it's not just meaningless conversation between Sam and Sully. There's actually nice story elements, little nuggets dropped in there that normally would get looked over if people didn't find said artifact or people didn't want to listen to entire cutscene. As you see, Sam and Sully are actually checking the tires for air. That's just ridiculous. The small little details is what make Naughty Dog a world-class game developer. The next point I want to talk about is Naughty Dog's subconscious navigation for the gamer. In a YouTube series called the Game Maker's Toolkit, a phenomenal series that I recommend strongly to you. I want to put the link down below. This guy talks about how Naughty Dog uses various elements such as light to guide the gamer subconsciously through a level. He also explains things like composition, framing, linear lines, negative space, things like this to guide the gamer without a waypoint or an annoying yellow arrow. As you can see in his gameplay footage, he talks about motion as well, such as birds, animals, and the camera is a huge factor in guiding the player. And of course, Naughty Dog's use of color, especially the color yellow, letting the player know that they could grab onto things. Now, my prediction is that in Uncharted 4, you're going to see less of the color yellow and more practical ways to explaining things and more practical ways of getting you around the level. Now, they also uses dialogue such as this.
That bridge there is what you would call rickety.
Having Sam bring up the bridge now makes the player go, oh, let's go ahead and check out the bridge.
This looks promising. Come on, baby. Let's go.
In this upcoming Jeep sequence, I just want you to have that Gamer's Maker Toolkit eye, and this will show you the Naughty Dog's expertise that are guiding you through the way. Let's go ahead and freeze it right now. Those stack of rocks, you naturally drawn towards it because you want to hit it, and then you see the bridge, and then you continue down the bridge because Sam brought it up. In the Uncharted 4 live Twitch stream, they brought up dynamic dialogue where all of a sudden the character's dialogue gets cut off. Like this example right here.
We're good. Everything's good.
And then how the game is smartly able to pick up where that last dialogue left off. Here we go, continuing up the mountain. You can see the use of light. Now it's not just a lamp, it's actually sunlight guiding you up this little mountain right here.
I got mud in my mouth.
There you go, another subconscious clue to pay attention to the mud to let you know what you can actually drive up on.
I'm getting nowhere fast.
Another clue letting you know that you need to find a different way up.
All right, hang on, guys.
You need traction here.
Another clue.
Nathan, the rocks.
I got it.
You guessed it, clue.
Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. There we go.
Nathan's dialogue is showing that the player himself is actually getting a hang of this puzzle.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my spine.
Dynamic dialogue. Again, try to look as if you have in the Game Maker's Toolkit eye to navigate through a way. The tire marks are letting you know to go
tire
that way
tracks.
up.
Someone came up this
The
way.
monkeys are moving to the left. Motion.
Hey, look up there on the hill. Got a tower or something.
Now we're talking.
The character's dialogue and the camera letting you know which way to go.
What were you arguing with the rental guy?
Oh, your brother insisted on getting a 4x4 with a winch.
So you sprung for the winch, but you couldn't spring for the suspension. I got it. Hey, it's important.
Another subconscious clue to the gamer to let you know that the winch is important. Tire marks letting you know to go up.
See?
Shit.
More dynamic dialogue. Naughty Dog's use of the environment to let you know that there's a natural curve so you won't drive off the cliff.
So Nathan, you're thinking Avery, too, and some other big shot pirates pooled their treasure and came out here because... why exactly?
Who knows? Maybe for protection? British authorities were closing in on them.
Sure. Maybe he helped them disappear. I mean, the guy clearly had a knack for hiding things.
And go.
And no.
That was a valiant effort.
Let's go check out that tower.
I'll come with. It's in pretty good shape for something several hundred years old.
Yeah. They're definitely ruins from Avery's era. Sam, look.
That's Christopher Condon's sigil. He's captain of the Fiery Dragon, operated out of Madagascar around Avery's time. So maybe Avery recruits pirate captains to, what, be his lookouts? That don't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Well, maybe each captain was responsible for a tower, along with providing the men for it. Whatever the case.
Now, just to show you
this
how
certainly isn't
awesome
our
Naughty
final
Dog
stop
is,
on our tour.
we just came from the bottom of this mountain. That footage at the very beginning, right there, is actually right there. They have actually built out this level. And that's what's just plain nuts. The tower that we're standing on is the tower that we saw moments ago, telling us to go up there. And the level's fleshed out. And that's just crazy. And this is not the first time that Naughty Dog has done this. Naughty Dog has done this in Uncharted 2 in this train level. It's not just a static train with the background moving. This is actually a fully fleshed level that the train is transversing through. And that's what's really cool about Uncharted 4. You're going to get more of this open environments for you to explore. Again, the lack of the color yellow, but still creating a ladder effect, letting you know that you could still climb up this little area to go get your treasure. Remember the whole entire dialogue about the winch? Now the winch is going to come into play, allowing you to get the Jeep up that very slippery slope. As you can see here, the tree has winch markings, letting you know that someone has used it, that the bark has been stripped. The character goes ahead and lets you know that it is usable. And now you could say, throughout the game now, anytime you see any kind of markings of this sort, that you could hook up the winch to it. Now, this little section right here is what Uncharted 4, I believe, is all about. It's Uncharted 4 in a nutshell. The character Nathan Drake, as a gamer, you have different options of getting down and up down this hill. You could go ahead and take the stairs, or you could go ahead and slide down the hill itself. The option is totally yours. However, you're going to still go and progress down the same path of the game. You're not going to get a different ending. You're not going to get a true ending. You're going to get one ending. And this is the magic of wide linear.
Well, that looked like fun.
Steeper than it looks. All right, ready?
Give it a shot.
Here we go. Steady. Steady.
The subconscious use of light to letting you know you've just discovered an awesome new idea.
See, Sully? Winch. Totally worth it.
We cleared a hill. It hasn't exactly paid for itself.
Well, not yet. Small victories.
Yeah, well, I'll celebrate the big ones.
In this upcoming segment, we're going to talk about Uncharted 4's new approach to combat. But before we do, let's take another look at this little image right here. The smoke drawing your eye towards that area. And of course, here comes the bird, letting you know you're heading in the right direction.
You've come
Of course, the music cue and the dialogue actually helps as well.
Far away from your oppressive government.
Oh, poor oppressed pirates. All they wanted to do was to murder and pillage in peace.
No, they wanted to live as free men.
Well, if you're gonna pick a place to run away from society, you could do a lot worse than here.
It's taken forever to get to this volcano.
Patience, Victor, patience. You know how those pirates got here? They had to start in England, sail to Brazil, then cut back across the Atlantic to South Africa.
Sam.
And they figured all that out with paper, charts, and by looking at the stars.
Hey, you're describing sailing to a former squid. Oh, shit! Stop!
I see him. What do we got? Military types poking around. Nadine's guys? Yep. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Looks like they found an old colony outpost.
But the wrong one, right?
That's the good news.
That means it's bad news.
The only route to the volcano is straight to them.
No, shit. You do have to drop on them.
What's the play here, Nathan?
The play is entirely up to you. Another subconscious way of asking you. So a lot of people after watching this demo said that this action sequence reminds them of Far Cry Primal, things of that sort, taking out the watchtowers. However, this is still a very tailored experience. This is still very Naughty Dog. Let's go ahead and freeze it right here. As you can see, the developer themselves, the designer of this level, is letting you know there's 3 different options of taking on this task. You go left, up in the middle, to the right. Of course, in this demo, they go ahead and go to the right. But the choice is entirely up to you. In fact, during the live Twitch stream, they went ahead and gone up the middle and caused a lot of havoc. Wasn't the best strategy, but it was a strategy. Throughout this action sequence, I will give you tidbits regarding the action itself that they said during the live stream. The stealth grass right here is you do not have to crouch in it. It's automatically crouched. You could go up the side of the wall right there if you'd like. It's entirely up to you. dynamic dialogue between the villains themselves and the enemies.
Good. Place looks empty. I'd like to get it over with and move on.
Sam and Sully are going to stay close to you as NPCs, but not going to be too far. They still want to help you out. Another game that a lot of people compared this demo to is Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. There's marking involved. You approach different bases and compounds, things of that sort. The ability to approach it is entirely up to you. You could go loud, you could go stealth. However, of course, the main difference is that the map itself is not open. Wide linear is still Naughty Dog's main theme in this action sequence. Another new element is the enemy's awareness indicator. This indicator has different colors. Yellow means they're somewhat aware, white means they are completely oblivious to your presence, and orange is high awareness. They know exactly where you are. Taking a page from The Last of Us and Metal Gear Solid, marking is available in this game. This allows the player to keep track of all the enemies in the area. Without it, it'll be very difficult. And again, as I stated before, just like The Last of Us, this is a little arena area that allow you to navigate however you like. Now, the main difference, though, compared to The Last of Us and Uncharted 4, is that Uncharted 4 has bigger arenas, much more wider spaces to play in, a much bigger sandbox, if you will, to cause your destruction. Now, the entire Uncharted 4 experience won't be like this. This is just an example of some of the new action in the game. For those of you worried about the threat indicators and the marking, all those can be toggled in the options. There's another example of the AI going to work, just like Ellie did in The Last of Us. Now, the option of tackling this tower is entirely up to you, the gamer. You could go stealth, you could go ahead and mark everybody, you could do it all very efficiently or slowly, or you could just go ahead and just go loud and crazy. The option's entirely up to you, the player.
Morning, boys.
Up there! In that tower! Ah, shit.
Oh, crap! Oh, that kind of hurt.
Move it out! Clap him! Flank! Flank!
Catch!
Go, go! Oh, shit! Move, move!
Nice shot.
Push up on him!
Crap. Think fast! Back to the car!
Come on, time to bail!
Well, they're persistent assholes, aren't they?
Come on, come on!
Hey, Nate, we're sitting ducks in this thing.
By the bridge!
Hang on!
Thank you guys so much for tuning in this Uncharted 4 Madagascar demo breakdown. I hope you guys learned a little bit about Naughty Dog and itself what's to come for Uncharted 4. If you'd like to see more of these kinds of videos, please comment down below. Let me know what you think about Uncharted 4's demo. And of course, like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about this channel. It's going to be a nice home for Uncharted 4 awesomeness. Later, guys. Peace.